I joined another game jam, and it went about as well as I could have expected. That's to say, not very well. But first, let's go over the concept for the game. The theme was sacrificing the player's health, and the special item was a rose. My idea was for the player to use their blood to fight with, using it as a ranged weapon to defeat opponents. For the special item, I had the idea that the player would make a sacrifice of blood to create a minion from a fallen enemy, using the rose to draw blood. The minion's purpose in the game would be to replenish the player's health, and then, after the player is healed a couple of times, they would evaporate into nothingness. But if they walk over an enemy, they'll consume them to replenish their life. YouTube? Anyways, this process is pretty slow. I was coding for about 12 hours a day and making limited progress, but I got a square moving side to side, with gravity. I will say I found learning this way was pretty hard, but at the end of the jam I didn't have to look much up. I was spending more time coding independently and I felt pretty much unstoppable. Then I realized my game still sucks. Learning took so much time that I had some coolish mechanics and no world or level to use them in. I ended up using a tile set that was made for one of my other projects, and then made some animations for the player, minion, and the guard. It started looking like it could be a game, but that's when the jam timer hit its last 12 hours. When this happened, it was 10 PM and I had to get some sleep. But before bed, I made a quick castle for the player to run around in. Then I made a bunch of guards to fight. And that would just have to do for now. I submitted my project and went to bed. Over the review phase, I got a ton of feedback, and I was pretty happy for it. It was mostly criticism, but I was still happy to read it anyways. A few people told me my movement was bad, so I went in after the jam and fixed that. Another said that the climbing mechanics were difficult to figure out, so I made some new tiles to show where the player can jump off and climb. Not all my changes have been updated yet, but over the next couple of weeks there should be some updates. Overall, I had a blast working in this jam. I learned so much about C# and Unity in general, and I can't wait for the next jam. Another thing, if you would like me to check out one of your projects, Itch is also a great way to share it with me. With that said, I've been Lox, and I will see you in the next one.